Okay.
Okay. Why did I want to do a podcast? Because my husband forced me to. No, just kidding. I grew up not even wanting to ever be in front of a camera, and look at me now. I'm out of my comfort zone. That's what it's like being married to a filmmaker.
I feel kind of out of my comfort zone because I'm a filmmaker and usually on the other side of the camera. And so this is me kind of being vulnerable, coming out of my shell and jumping in front of the camera to do something that's really quite different. I think everybody goes through challenges in life, and the way that we navigate through those challenges says a lot about a person. It really makes a difference in how we operate, how we treat others, how we value our relationships, how we give to our relationships. And if anything has taught us in the last few years is that mental health is a really big deal.
When you've been through things, the natural part of you wants to share that, how you got through it with others. We've been through divorce, we've been through mental crises, blending a family, all the responsibilities that come with that. That's why I wanted to do a podcast, because I think lots of people are struggling and I want them to feel that they're not alone.
Welcome to our show, where we can talk about things that are important to us, things that matter. I'm Drew.
I'm Jen, and this is what matters most.
Hi, Jen.
How's it going?
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
So we're doing a show
Yep. We are doing a show.
called What Matters Most.
What matters most to me is to be silly, to not be like strict, and just to be ourselves. That's what matters most to me.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of like a good way to start off, because I think in our home, one of the things that when we got married, just because of what we've been through, we wanted a place where the kids could feel like they could just be themselves. We could have fun. We could laugh.
Oh, to find somebody that could be just as silly as me is a dream come true. So that's what we wanted in our home. We didn't want it to be sadness or focus on the negative, just lots of positive, lots of laughter, lots of fun. And yeah, sometimes we lack in that, but sometimes we don't, and it's fun.
But sometimes we have just like, we just laugh.
Yeah.
And it's really so good when you think of all the things that can happen in the world, and it's like, it's just nice to be in your home and be able to feel like you can just release and feel good.
And let the kids know. And that's something that I've really focused on as a mom, that, you know what, you don't have to be serious all the time. Yes, life is hard, but let's just be silly. And they call it cringe. You're so cringy. But yeah, it's fun.
But being yourself is key too, because it's like,
it's okay
out in the world,
yourself.
there's so many expectations, and I think in your home, you need to be able to, like, especially making your kids feel like, hey, you don't have to be perfect, and
nobody's
you're
expecting
just,
that. Yeah.
Like, this is a place where we can fail, and we grow. Yeah, we make mistakes, and yeah, sometimes we have consequences, but
yeah,
we all grow.
Yeah. And we have a thing that we say, well, that I say is, I still love you. I say it all the time. I still love you. So
yeah,
nobody's expected to be perfect. And this podcast is not going to be perfect.
So let's put that out there right now. It's not going to be perfect.
We are amateurs.
We're growing.
We are growing. Yeah. But it's going to be fun. Hopefully it'll be fun and informative and real.
So on that note, I think we need to just start with my favorite thing is to just do a few dad jokes.
Okay. So when we first got married, we would do these dad jokes and try not to laugh. So here we go. I'm selling my sock puppet collection. I'm selling my sock. I can't say it. I'm selling my sock puppet. No, I can't say it. That's really weird.
That's a tongue twister.
It is.
I think that's, you're just like, you didn't even get to the punchline. And
No. Okay. All right. Okay. So not many people know that Yoda has a last name.
Oh, yeah?
Leahy-hoo.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, what do you have?
So I told my kids 10 jokes to make them laugh. Sadly. No pun intended.
I had to think about that one. That was really bad. All right. So now that we've got the ice broken.
But you didn't even finish the sock puppet joke.
Oh, sock puppet. I can't say it. Okay. I'm selling my sock puppet collection.
Okay.
$50 to take it off my hands.
That's
Thanks.
great.
Thanks, Scott McDermott.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do a better one. I really think that you should wear glasses while you're doing math. It improves division. Improves division.
I got it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How are the things that we talk about relatable? I think everybody has a relationship. It doesn't matter what relationship that is. Everybody has a relationship, and every relationship takes work. Everybody has a body, and sometimes bodies aren't healthy, and so talking about physical fitness, we can help you improve. Talking about mental health, we can help you improve. They're relatable. Even though we haven't gone through something that somebody has gone through, when somebody goes through trials or crises or things like that, it affects you. And so that's how I think it's relatable.
We're all going through life, and we come across things that create conflict, whether we like it or not. And the thing that's wonderful about conflict, because I'm a filmmaker, I love the idea of conflict in plot, because conflict always makes your hero grow. And when we look at the conflict or the challenges that we face in life in a positive outlook and see ourselves as the hero, because I think that's how we should view ourselves, is that we love ourselves and say, I'm going to conquer this, I'm going to defeat the enemy as the hero. Well, the hero always needs some help. The hero always needs to figure stuff out, always has a journey to get there. It doesn't just come naturally without a lot of hard work. There's that training sequence or things where you have to go through all of those tough, difficult times to get to that point. The hero needs to have that journey to be able to overcome the challenges along the way and then defeat the antagonist. But when we draw that back into our own lives, we can definitely gain lessons. And that's why I love literature. That's why I love movies, because it teaches us things. If we can go through life and just have the attitude of, what is this teaching me? What can I learn? How can I grow? There's so much that so many of us have to offer, and we wanted to source out people that we knew that we felt were experts, because in a way I don't feel like I'm an expert in any sense. I just want to know, I just want to learn, and I just want to grow. And I feel like there's got to be a lot of people out there that feel the same way.
When it comes to social media, after I went through my divorce, that's how I felt like I had a platform. So many people would actually follow me because I'd share my feelings, I'd share what I was going through, I'd share the hard days, the good days, I would share all those things. And it felt good to me because inside I felt like I need to share this because somebody is going through this. And if I could just like use what I'm experiencing to like inspire, to help, to uplift, because yes, what I'm experiencing is really hard, but this is my outlook. And if I can give a positive outlook and share that with somebody, then maybe what I'm going through isn't for nothing, first of all. And I have power to help somebody, even though I don't have power on what's happening to me. So my desire to help somebody genuinely has driven me to share. And so that's why I want to do this podcast, because it's just inside me to help somebody else.
If we can grow and learn together, we can become enlightened. We can find ways to connect. We can find ways to increase our love and our relationships and just do better and be passionate about life.
What matters most to me? What matters most to me is my family.
My family, my kids.
It's kind of been my desire my whole life is to have a really good family, to be a good wife and a mom, and to provide for my kids. There were times when that was really threatened when my kids were young because of my mental health. And so to be able to work through that and to be able to overcome challenges that come my way so that I can be the best mom and wife is the most important to me.
I went through a time when everything crashed around me, and when that happens, you really get to know what matters most in your life. It's just kind of like you just know, and you kind of go into survival mode, and I'm gonna live and do everything that I can for them to be a part of my life. And something that I had to fight for. And when you go through those challenges, you know in your heart what is important, and it keeps you centered and focused. And when you see those people that really you care about succeed, thrive, it gives you hope and it gives you drive. It wants you to do more for them. And I feel like for me, that's what matters again on that sense is reaching out and giving, serving, whether it's for my kids, whether it's for my church, or for those around me that I see in need. That's important because I feel like there's a lot of people hurting and need it. So yeah. So I didn't expect that I would be getting emotional. I guess I said I just said that I was gonna be vulnerable, so there you go.
I keep referring back to mental health, and for me that's a huge component of who I am, because it's something that I battle with on a daily basis. It's something that I've grown up with, the challenges of people around me with severe mental illness. in all aspects, in social media, in physical fitness, just the things that we're going to talk about. Because of what I experienced a nervous breakdown, or what you'd call a nervous breakdown, where I was non-functional. If you don't have your mental health, you don't have the ability to do anything. And it's really, it's super hard.
Well, I think one of the big ones that are important that I'm excited about is fitness and how that relates to our mental health. I'm just really a big believer in how much that is connected to how we feel, because it's helped me in my challenges in life to be able to have something like running and even just working out, exercising, having something to motivate and focus on. It kind of like it drives me, not just in my family life, because I feel like if I'm healthier, I can live and be there for my family, my kids. But it also makes me feel better. If I can run a half marathon, I can get that documentary big client or whatever else that, and I think it applies to all of us. There's lots that we can the sky's the limit when we think about what our body can do. What our mind can do is right along with it.
I think maintaining good relationships and overcoming the challenges that can come with relationships are the most important to me. I don't have control over all my relationships, but inviting people on the show to even help me make my relationships better is what I'm interested in too.
I'm also really excited about therapy or mental health, things that we can do to really increase our awareness of healing, getting through the trauma that some of us might have had in the past, or just being able to forgive, being able to overcome those emotions that hold us back in life.
So we just finished our interviews.
Yeah, we did.
We did. And I thought they were really good, the things that you had to say.
And you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been through lots of experiences.
Yeah. And it's funny because with my experience, to be honest, I have a lot of it blocked out. So, yeah. But when people talk, like my sisters who saw everything happening, they remember a lot more. And so sometimes talking to them, I'm like, oh, I really have been through a lot.
So to give some context, you're saying that like when you you kind of went through what you would call a nervous breakdown. Mm-hmm. So yeah. That's kind of like what you feel like.
Pretty traumatic, but it's all good. I've done a lot of healing. It's been, I think, 10 years. A lot of work, a lot of like giving myself grace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's come a long way. Yeah. How about you?
It's cool because on Facebook you get those reminders, and it's sort of like, oh yeah, this is from this time period. Like especially when I'm like, so it's like 6 or 7 years now for me, and like I'm at that stage where it's like, you know what, that's a different time in my life.
It feels like a different lifetime.
Yeah, so I think I'm at a stage where I can look back on it and say, I've done lots of growing. I'm really happy where I am right now. Mm-hmm. But then when I look back at that time, it's like, wow, if I could reach out or talk to myself at that time, it's like, wow, there's so much. It's like there's hope. You can make it, and that's kind of what we're here for, is to. And in a lot of different topics that we'll talk about, but the main theme, I think, is the challenges that we face and the tools that are there for us to overcome, and that there's hope, there's a better life ahead.
Yeah.
It's like not to give up.
Yeah. The tools and the principles, I think there's principles in every trial, like that you can take, like the principle of forgiveness, like, you touched on that in your interview. And I think witnessing your journey since we've been together I've seen how you've come to the point of forgiveness, and I think it's pretty incredible, to say the least. And for me too, like,
Yeah.
it's funny because in myself, like, I had to do a lot of forgiving too. And I've come to that, and so many people around me say, oh, you know, you're amazing that you were able to forgive the things that you've gone through. But to me, it's not that big of a deal, because I feel like I have moments where I'm like, holy cow, that was so unfair, so awful. But then there's moments that are like, what's the point of hanging on to it? I'm here now, and I just want to let it go. And I think that's a huge accomplishment, to be in a place where I just want to let it go and move forward. Because, you know, it's not easy all the time, for lots of people, and everybody's on a different journey.
But I think it's exactly like with forgiveness, especially, it's I would call it a necessity. Like, if you want to be able to move forward and like you said, it's just you have to, because holding on to things just will hold you back, and
Literally.
so it's and like I say, you can't just take that lightly, because there's a lot of work that has to go into being able to let things go in a lot of ways, and everybody's experience is different. The reasons for holding a grudge or not, or letting stuff go is all up there. But I think the universal principle is that when you do release and let that go, it's liberating.
Yeah, it's liberating. That's the word I was going to use. It's liberating.
Yeah.
It is so liberating. Because, like, as you were talking, I was like, okay, what's the thing that really helped me forgive? And I think coming to the realization is, I only have one life to live, one life. And I only have a short amount of time. What do I want to do with my time? Do I want to spend that time holding on to the pain, or do I want to move forward and give myself the gift of goals, to give myself the gift of a life I've always wanted? So I think that's what matters most to me.
I think that's an empowering outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's a wonderful attitude.
Yeah. Because I think if you hold on to it, who does it hurt? It hurts you, because the person that you're mad at might not even care that you're mad at them, or might not even know. But it helps me. It helps me move forward and forgive and forget. And yes, I won't ever forget, but you come to the point in your life where you're just like, okay, I don't need to hold on to that anymore. I want to forget and let go of all the pain.
And I think that's good. I think we just kind of leave it there, because it kind of gives us a teaser or something we can talk about. Because I think in one of our episodes upcoming, we're going to be delving like completely on this topic.
Into forgiveness.
So just,
and the things that we've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this, this episode kind of just gives us a taste of everything. So
of who we are.
Yeah. So that's why I think we should sort of leave off on, just the get to know you aspects of, like, okay, who we are, like, just to explain, we are, a blended family. How many kids do we have?
We have 7, and a son-in-law.
And a son-in-law. So yeah, I came into it with 5 kids.
And I came into it with my 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got along.
Yeah, it was really quite a blessing the way that worked out, the way that, the challenges of them coming together in the sense of, like, yeah, they might have had their own reservations with, this new marriage, new family life, but really on the main part, like, most of them got along, and actually it was kind of fun for them, because
it was
a lot
incredible.
of their ages line up good. And
they just fit into each other. It's like it was meant to be. But when I say that they got along, that doesn't mean that we don't have trials as a blended family. There are trials.
Oh yeah.
There are lots of trials. I think having everybody come into a family where they've had a broken home or some trauma, all of them are dealing with divorce and the things that come with divorce in their own ways. And we as parents are just trying to like, okay, this is how this person's dealing with it. Okay, this is how this person's dealing with it. And trying to be there for them. We're not perfect by any means. There's probably so much going on that we don't even know. But we try and we love them and we do what we can. And yeah, it's been a journey.
And we've been married 5 years almost. It'll be in February. It'll be 5 years.
We were married on Family Day.
Yeah, so that's good. We can always remember.
So he doesn't forget. Just kidding.
Not that I would have that.
Yeah.
But
no, he's really good. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, it's been good. It's been a journey. It's been the hard, the good, the fun. It's been great.
And I think too when you're doing it the second time around, this is one thing I'd love to talk about is you've learned things. Like I've because of how things went, before my previous marriage, first and foremost, we've learned to communicate.
Right.
Because there's things that you just like almost expect, like, oh, well, that's how it was in my previous marriage. So, almost expecting like my spouse is going to act this way, but
or react this way. Yeah, but we've done a lot of communicating, and we're not perfect at it, but we're better for it. I think like the experiences that we've gone through, we are better communicating. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communicating is key.
Yeah.
And finding time to go on dates.
I think we're still working on that one.
Well,
we could go on more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try, but
yeah.
I mean, that's and that's where it's important to do that. Like in a regular marriage, or not regular, but in any marriage, it's important to do that. But I think in a blended family, because really, it's a water relationship. We didn't have that time to grow as a couple before all of the outside circumstances, just external things come into everything. Yeah. So you just have to you just dive in deep, right?
The chaos was there before we even got together. But
Right.
It's good. Like, I feel like we're on the same page lots. Sometimes we're not, but most of the time we are, I think.
But we get through it.
We do.
Because we love each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Yeah. So I think that's really what we wanted to get through, and just really, again, give you just a taste of what's to come, give you a little get to know you session with us, who we are as the hosts. We're super excited for the discussions, the comments that are going to come from you guys, on the channel, as well as the topics, the discussions that we'll have with the experts.
Yeah.
The experts, or the people that we think are, experts on the topics.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting to hear from them because they've got pretty good stories. Yeah, so I'm excited. This is something new for us too, new for you watching, but we're excited. Yeah. We'll catch you on the next video.
Okay, so what matters most.
See ya.
See ya.